Well, in the last video, they put the cars away into the number 7 track, the storage track. They came out with these 2 tank cars that they had a hold of. And they've gone to 5 track to shove those 2 box cars into clear 4 track. And then they'll probably do some switching around with these tank cars, would be my guess. That Firestone car has to go into 4. That has to be the first car into 4 track. And then this GATX car, the black tank car, that has to go into number 5 track, be spotted in number 5 track. And they'll probably hang on to that one and switch 4 track with it, hanging on to it next to the engine. So this looks like what they're doing is setting the black tank over to 4 track, and I'm sure they'll set the Firestone tank over to 5 and then go back to 4. I think he's going to go back into 4 track and hole 4. What it looks like. Okay, this is number 9 track, the new warehouse. That's where tire cars are loaded. And these are the 2 storage tracks, number 7 and 8. 8 is next to the warehouse, and 7 is next to the plant. That is number 4 track. It's next to the building. And then number 5, that's the oil track, where the oil cars go, or tank cars. And then number 6 track, that's where the carbon black, and then there's 1 spot on the end for a tank car. Okay, they're coming into 4 track. He's hanging onto that tank car. And you'll see why when we're all done. And he's going to gather up all the cars on 4 track. There's 4 doors at Firestone. That door number 3 is underneath that building there, that addition. And it looks like he's got them all. And now they'll go out and switch some cars, get everything lined up, shove back in, spot up. I think that Pennsylvania, I think it comes out, it's an empty now. And so one of those box cars will have to go in its place. Those box cars that were set over to 5-track. So he's setting that Firestone tank over to 4. So that'll be the farthest in at spot number 5. Takes a lot of back and forth switching because you can't block the crossing there on that road. So everything's got to be done in these basically 2 tracks. Well, I guess that Penzi car is empty. It'll come out. I don't know which car, the new ones, will go in its place, but we'll find out here shortly. That engineer's pretty slow today. Well, looks like that Southern Pacific boxcar is going to go in next to 4-track. We'll put it against the Firestone tank. They got to shove into clear 5-track. Well, it looks like that Penzi's the one coming out, so they'll set it over to 5, and then that Santa Fe car, that next car, it'll go back in its original spot. It has to be respotted at the same door that it was at before. So then they'll have to set it over and then come back and grab probably that NC and St. L box. And they'll shove in clear. Well, looks like that Seaboard car is empty. So they'll take it over to 5. They'll probably grab 5 now, pull it out, put that NC and St. L car in the place of that C-board. That's what it looks like anyway. That's what they're going to do. So then that Penzi and that C-board, those are both empties. They'll be together on 5-track when they get all this done. So that NC and St. L at Dixieland, that ought to go to door 2. Okay, now they're going to set those 2 empty boxes over. That Santa Fe that's next to the tank car, that goes back to door 1. It's a respot. And I think they're all ready. When they make this joint, they're all ready to shove in and spot up 4-track. And that's what they're going to do. That tank car is going to go on the end of the track. That's why they had to do some switching out there to get everything lined up correctly. You've got some cars that had to be respotted back to the original position, original doors. And so it takes a little bit of work. There, it's spotted. And it looks like they've got that Southern Pacific spotted at door 4. They're pulling up to spot door 3 with that Santa Fe. And that NC and St. L, that's going to go to door 2. Oh boy, it looks like that hoghead is messing with them today. I think they're having a little riff, whatever. Okay, they're going to pull out, cut that tank car off, leave it on 4-track. And then they'll probably go in and get gather up 5-track, pull out the empty, come out and pick up that loaded tank that they just left on 4. Yep, that looks like what's going to happen. There's 3 spots on the 5-track for tank cars. And there's talk about possibly putting a 4th spot in, but nothing so far. Yeah, on the other side of that building, there's 2 more tanks. Okay, now they'll pull out and do a little more switching. Okay, that last tank car they just pulled out, that's an empty. So they're going to go grab the other tank car there that's on 4. That's a load that goes back in place of that city service tank car. Then they'll have to set the city service out to 4 and then go back in to 5 and shove those 2 tanks down, spot up again. Just like 4-track, they got to line everything up because that one car is a respot, and then we'll have to spot that in car. City service is empty, so it goes back to 4 to get it out of the way. And now they're going to come back, get onto 5, shove into 5 and spot up. That's what they're doing now. Well, they got that car spotted. And now they're pulling back out. They're going to spot that tank there. They'll spot it at the unloading spot. And cut off and head out. I would imagine they're going to put these two empty cars against that empty tank car in 4. That'll put all the empties together there. And they still have to switch number 6 track. I'm not sure just how much work they got today on 6 track. Usually they'll pull the tank at the end and replace that with another tank. And then they always have an empty carbon black car that they'll have pull out and spot the next car. When they get down to 1 car, then they got to go over to 7 and grab some more. You know, the old hogger's picked up a little bit of speed. He's coming in awful slow to the joint though. And that's okay. Rough joints are not fun. And okay, they didn't shove back to get that tank car, so they're just gonna set the end car, the end hopper over towards the empties on the 4 track, and then spot that middle hopper. That'll be the next load that gets spotted. Okay, they're going to shove back into 6 and spot that in the car. Oh, good spot. Okay, they'll cut off now and go. I don't know if they're going to pick up the 2 tire loads, those 2 cars out of the new warehouse, or pick up the empties first. My guess would be they're going to pick up the empties first. Yep, that's what they're going to do. Rear man dropped off. He's getting them lined into the new warehouse and lining the switches back. The crossovers, they can be left lined for the crossover movement, but all other switches have to be lined for straight track, for 7 or 8 track. That's to protect people in the plant that might be, unloading box cars or whatever, in case something would get loose. Any car or whatever would run into the storage tracks instead of into the plant. Those cars, in the plant. Okay, now they're going to head up and they'll pick up the 3 tire cars that are in 2-track and with a caboose. So I'm sure they just pull up with these 2 loads and back them in on top of the 3 loads in the caboose and then boogaloo. There you go, Mark. Okay, yeah, they're going to shove into 2-track, pick up those 3 in a caboose, and boogie. So now they're pulling up to the main line switch. They got to stop, line it back, and then head for home. There we go. Well, that's the end of the switching at Firestone. So you folks have a good day. Thanks for watching.